Everybody, welcome to another episode of Dose of Inspirational Light. As mentioned in the last video, I talked about a guest, a very special friend who's traveling to Europe, and she's traveling to Europe solo. And I wanted to capture that discussion with her today. She's actually at the airport now, about to board in a few minutes. So I wanted to give a long introduction for her, but I think she can introduce herself. But just in a very brief sense, she is a yoga teacher for the last 2 years. She's also an early childhood carer for the last 11 years. And I met her last year, and I'm very excited that she's taking a journey to Europe. And she's doing this as a solo trip. And we, in terms of this podcast, are going with her. Before I introduce her, please like, share, comment, and also please follow her journey and give her all the tips, all the guidance as she takes the solo journey through Europe. So let's meet Grace and let's have a chat to her. Hello, Grace.
Hello. Thank you so much, Shika, for having me on.
No, it's a pleasure.
Lovely to be here with you.
Yes, it's so exciting. You're going to Europe. And we're going with you.
It's a suddenly feeling very real.
Yes, it is happening. I'm very excited that it's happening. Before we tell the viewers of what exactly is happening, just in terms of introduction, tell me a little bit about you. I know you, but the rest of the world doesn't. So you can tell us a little bit about yourself.
So my name's Grace. I'm a yoga instructor, early childhood teacher, hypnotherapist, and embodiment coach. Wear lots of different hats and do lots of different things. I was born and raised in Australia. I've got 6 siblings, including me, 5 siblings and me. But my mum's father was from Estonia, and my dad's family are originally from Scotland and England. And so I've always felt this sense of affinity with Europe and wanting to go back and see the places where my ancestors are from. So that's a little bit of who I am.
Yay. Yeah. And you've never traveled to Europe before?
I've never traveled to Europe before. I've wanted to go since I was a child and always dreamed that, like, one day when I grow up, I'm going to go to Europe and it's going to be amazing. And then I grew up and I didn't have any money, and I went, well, when I have a job and I have money, I'm going to go to Europe and it's going to be amazing. And then I got a job and I was stressed all of the time. I was sick all of the time. I felt guilty about taking holidays because I was working with kids, and like anytime that anyone's away, it's like, oh, we've got to get casuals to fill the gap. And like, what if there's no casuals available, and the families will miss you, the children will miss you. And I sort of like bought into all these stories for ages. And yeah.
And now you finally took the plunge and you said, this is my time.
Took the plunge. No more excuses. I went, if I keep waiting for everything to line up and for it to be right by everybody else, I'm never going to go. And I really want to. This is important to me. Like, I want to go see the world. Yeah. So I made a decision after a conversation with a friend over pancakes and cacao in her living room a couple of months ago. She's like, Grace, I really feel travel's coming through for you this year. And I went, oh yeah, maybe not. I don't know. She's like, I'm feeling Europe. I'm like, I've always wanted to go to Europe. She's like, this year, babe, it's going to happen. And I went, maybe it will happen this year. I'm going to do it. And I made the decision that morning. And then I started looking up flights, and you make the decision, you make the commitment, and then everything falls into place. It all comes together. And that's exciting. Such a journey of trust and following which way the wind blows, which way feels right.
Yes.
Yeah.
I hear you. I feel you, because I'm doing very similar things. I've been wanting to come on a podcast, do these channels for a long time, but it was always like, I'm not ready. I'm not good enough. I don't know, don't have time. Family needs me more, because it does require energy and time, etc.
It's true. Yeah.
And I just said, you know what? There'll never be when, if not now, when, right? That's how the saying
If
goes.
not now, when? I think that's my favorite quote, my favorite saying. Like,
Yes,
yeah.
yes. And also, my favorite saying is, what you seek is seeking you.
Oh, I love that one.
Yeah, it's my
Beautiful.
favorite quote. Whenever I want to follow a dream, I just think it's seeking me just as much, you know? And here we
Mm,
are, both taking a
here
plunge
we are.
into
Absolutely.
very exciting, Grace. So I know you mentioned a little bit about your work commitments and you know, you were not ready time-wise, money-wise, etc. But what else has happened in your life that's prompted this adventure and that adventure solo, you know, because it's a very big step to travel, but not just to travel, but to travel solo.
It's true. I think a big part of it is that I've spent so much of my life trying to be who everyone else needed me to be. And since I was a child, it was like my identity was, how can I be the most accommodating, least in need of any parental input out of all of my siblings? And that was how I thought I would gain love, by being effectively invisible and just fitting in with everybody else. And like, sure, it made mom and dad's lives easier to have a kid that just went with the flow. But at what cost? It's like I lost my sense of self, my sense of identity and direction in the world, and the ability to make decisions. And for a very long time, I was just completely disconnected from that. And I would refuse to make any decisions whatsoever. It was like I believed that I wasn't capable of making decisions. And so I would defer to other people, and I wouldn't even choose what to have for dinner or what to watch on TV or where to sit in a cafe. I, I would freeze and go, I don't know. And so to me, this trip by myself is this journey of exploration and learning to trust myself, learning to follow what I want to do when I don't have any pressure from anybody else, whether that's real or imagined pressure. Like, if there's nobody there with me, I'm not going to be spending my whole time in my head going, oh, but what would they like to do? Where would they like to go? Are they going to be okay with this? If I decide I just want to lie on the grass for 3 hours, will they be feeling like we're wasting our time and we should be doing other more interesting or, I don't know, productive things with our time? Like, by taking this trip all by myself and choosing to go for a longer amount of time, it means that I can just have that freedom to explore and lean into trust and lean into, who am I when I don't have to do anything? I don't have to be anywhere. I don't have to please anyone. I can just be.
Yes, that's beautiful. And I'm so happy that you're taking that decision finally. You are Grace, you know, you're obviously a very gorgeous friend in and out. And you know, this journey is an exciting journey for you, and it's exciting for me that you're taking this journey as a friend of yours. I'm so happy that you're manifesting those thoughts, that inner voice, and listening to it finally, and you know, going with that sense of adventure and flow. Have a very fabulous time. But
Thanks.
before this journey is over, we have some very exciting news. And the exciting news is that we're coming with you all the way through your trip. Because even though it's a
Yeah.
solo trip, you know, hopefully we will, you know, feel a part of you lying on that grass for 3 hours or whatever else you choose to do when you choose to do it. So
Yeah.
hopefully we'll do some live sessions. Hopefully we can do some recordings in the middle, depending on the time zones, depending on the love the supporters give us, and hopefully we'll get some love. So if you've got any recommendations for Grace when she is on her travels, she will just tell us her itinerary. If you want her to visit a cafe, if you've been to that city before, please support this excitement and this adventure of hers. And yeah, so what's on the agenda? Where are you off to first?
So I'm off to Rome first, and then the itinerary is a bit vague after that. I've got 4 days in Rome, and then I'm taking a top deck tour that goes through 9 different countries in 15 days and ends in the UK on the 4th of September, 5th of September.
Okay.
I've kind of purposely been very vague about my itinerary, and gives me a whole lot of freedom of like, where will I be? I don't know. It will be an adventure. I will check though and find out all the destinations of my top deck tour so that I can share those with you and the viewers.
Yes,
I just don't have it right in front of me at this moment, and I'm feeling like I probably need to go to the boarding gate pretty soon.
yes, we'll follow you to the boarding gate. So great, let's do this. Let's tune in later. And your next pit stop, what's your next pit stop before you get to Europe?
Next pit stop is Beijing. I'll be there tomorrow morning from 5:30 till 1 something local time, which is like 7:30 Australian time to about 3 something in the afternoon. And then I'll be on my second leg of the flight that takes me to Rome.
Yay, okay. All right, let's go to the boarding gates.
Oh, all right. All right. Got to get to gate 58 and then hop on my plane. Found 58. Oh, thank you.
All right, show me the gate. It's a visual of the gate.
Gate 58. You made it. Oh, gate 58. Bye, darling.
Ready?
From Beijing, I've arrived safely at the airport. First leg of my first flight done. I'm on my way. This is exciting. It's a little bit of a ghost town here in the airport. Just about everything is closed, but I found this lovely spot to hang out. Beautiful here, surrounded by plants and this lovely structure. I just wanted to share a little bit more of my itinerary now that I've had time to sit down and write it out in a sensible way. So I arrive in Rome tonight on the 16th, and I'll be there until the 20th, and that's when I join a top deck tour. They'll take us on a walking tour around the center of Rome in the afternoon on the 20th. And then on the 21st, we hop on the bus and we go to Venice. If anyone has suggestions of what to do in Venice, I'll have the whole day to explore there on the 22nd. I can do my own thing. I can hang out with other people from the bus tour. It's a free day. On the 23rd, we'll leave Venice and travel to Vienna. And on the 24th, I've got the whole day in Vienna in Austria. And then from there on the 25th, we travel through Bratislava, in the capital of Slovakia. That'll be a quick trip. We have a walking tour. I think we stop there for lunch. And then we hop back on the bus and travel all the way to Budapest in Hungary later that day. 3 countries in one day. So that's the 25th of August. On the 26th, we get to explore Budapest. So I'll have the whole day in Budapest. On the 27th, I'll be traveling to Krakow on the bus. We'll have a walking tour to get a bit of an orientation of the city. And then the 28th, I have the whole day free. If you have suggestions for me in Krakow, that's where I'll be on the 28th. On the 29th, we hop back on the bus and travel to Prague. On the 30th, I'll have the day to explore Prague. And then on the 31st, which is also my birthday, we're traveling from Prague to Dresden, having a tour there, and then back on the bus to Berlin. The trip agenda says, let's see if the city's nightlife lives up to the hype. So that seemed like fun for the trip plan. Already had a night out in the itinerary, and it falls on my birthday. So that's the 31st of August. And then the 1st of September, I'll be in Berlin for the day. If anyone has suggestions, if anyone's in Berlin, if anyone knows people in Berlin, feel free to put me in touch with them. And then the 2nd of September, I'll be traveling from Berlin to Amsterdam. The 3rd of September, I have the day to do whatever I like in Amsterdam. Tell me where you want me to go, what I should see. Then the 4th, I'll be traveling from Amsterdam to London on the bus. And from there, that's where the itinerary gets really vague, because that's the end of the planned and pre-booked travel. So the 4th of September through till the end of September, I've got 3 or 4 weeks that I haven't really figured out what I'm doing. On the list of things that I'd like to do is a couple of day trips around England. I'd love to see Wales if I can. I'd love to go across to Ireland. I know a few people over near Cork, so I might go spend a few days there. And then from the UK or Ireland, I think I'll probably go to Estonia next. I'd love to make it to Portugal as well, but I don't know if that will happen on this trip. I will see which way the wind blows, where I end up. I really want to go to Estonia because that's where my mum's father was from. That was another big part of me really wanting to do this trip. Connecting with my roots and the land of my ancestors. I'm not really sure all of the places in the UK that my dad's family were originally from. I believe that on his mum's side, there's some Scottish heritage. And on my dad's side, I think they have English ancestry mainly. But it's a long way back, so I don't really know all of the details. But I still want to go to England. From the 4th of September is when I'll be more or less on my own for a little bit. And I don't have anything booked yet from the 4th of September until probably the end of September, early October, which is when I'll be catching up with a friend in Switzerland. She lives in Lausanne and offered to host me for a few days or a week towards the end of my trip. And then I'll go back down to Italy from there. I've got another friend who's hosting me from the 11th to the 15th before I fly back to Australia on the 15th of October. So for that middle section from the 4th of September till probably the end of September, I really want to go to Estonia. I would love to go to Portugal. I would love to go back to Germany and see Neuschwanstein Castle. And maybe the other castles that are near there too. My nan gave me a jigsaw puzzle, a 1,000-piece puzzle of Neuschwanstein Castle in the autumn when I was probably 8 or 10 years old. And I loved it. It's the castle that inspired the Disney logo, the Disney castle. And ever since my nan gave me that puzzle, I've thought, one day I'm going to go to Europe and I'm going to see Neuschwanstein Castle. And I'm going to make it happen on this trip. I'm excited, in case you couldn't tell. And a little bit sleep deprived. I did get 6 hours sleep on the flight last night. 6 hours uninterrupted. And then I probably dozed for another 2 or 3 hours of the flight. So it's not bad. I'll keep you updated. Have a wonderful day. Please follow Dose of Inspirational Light on Instagram and YouTube. And I'll hopefully be on here with some more live sessions with Shika soon. Much love to you all. Bye.